says this kind of thing has happened before, certainly could happen again. See, Doug Wead is a presidential historian. And Doug, you say time and again, a lot of elections are decided on things you do not think are going to be earth-shattering, huh?
Absolutely. There was Ed Muskie, who was the front runner. Everybody thought he was on his way to the White House, unstoppable. And he reacted to an editorial in New Hampshire. He stood up on the car and gave a little speech, just a few little words, cried a few tears. It was all over for him.
Now, but McGovern was surging anyway. I wonder whether we use that as a metaphor after the fact. But you think it
right
registered.
about that. You're right that often historians look back in retrospect and see these comments or these moments as turning points. That often is the case, and you wonder if history's superimposing their will on these stories. But nevertheless, comments like this are turning points if they represent a deeper angst that the public has about the candidate.
Well, another one that clearly was a dumb remark, and he later regretted it. Gerald Ford in the debate with Jimmy Carter, essentially saying that Poland was free, Eastern Europe was free. I think we have that bite. That was a costly one. Let's review this.
There is no Soviet domination of Eastern Europe, and there never will be.
Yeah. Game over, right?
Yeah, it was 1976. And the irony, you know, I've had Gerald Ford in my home a couple times. He's very bright, and he's a policy wonk, dominates any discussion of policy. The lesson learned is they should have immediately corrected it. Immediately after the debate, he should have said, "Did I say that? I'm sorry I said that." And he should have admitted to a senior moment and gone on. But they hung for several days.
That's just it. They never let go. They never say, "I regret." And
it's hard.
That came up to me when I was thinking of having you here, the George Allen remark, the macaca comment, that just did him in, right? I think we have that. Can we show that?
My friends, we're going to run this campaign on positive, constructive ideas. And it's important that we motivate and inspire people for something. This fellow here over here with the yellow shirt, macaca, or whatever his name is.
All right, now that's a disparaging term. Well, it depends on the eye of the beholder, of African Americans, and that was a Webb representative in the audience. But you think that doomed it, right?
That's right. That's right. He was a James Webb plant, but this was the language that Allen and his staff were using amongst themselves, and it just popped out. Amazing. And there's no question that it hurt. It haunted him afterwards and eventually brought him down.
Very good stuff. You think this will for Obama?
Well, it could. It could. Yeah. It was clearly a counterpunch because the way the audience reacted, the way the media reacted, the reason we're sitting here talking about it right now. This was you can put lipstick on the resume, but still a weak resume. You can put lipstick on the story,
maybe I'm the only one, Doug, who
story.
just didn't see it, but I could be. You know,
it was a counterpunch.
All right,
most
Doug,
people would see it.
All right, Doug. Thank you very much, Doug Wead.
Thanks for having me.
Meanwhile, all eyes